You are 15. You sit on an overturned milk crate at the edge of Highway 15D in Jalisco. The sun blisters your neck. You are Halcón. A lookout. The absolute bottom of the syndicate. Your equipment is a prepaid burner phone and a two-way radio. You make 2,000 pesos a week. Cash. Your only job is to stare at the dust. If a convoy of green military trucks rolls past kilometer 42, you type a single letter, M. If you see unbadged black SUVs, you type Z. You hit send. That is your entire existence. The heat is suffocating, but the psychological weight is heavier. You do not sleep. The paranoia sets in. Every passing civilian is a potential informant. Every screech of tires makes your stomach collapse. You are entirely expendable. If you miss a text, there is no firing process. There is no second chance. The organization simply replaces you, and you step into the permanent shadows of the desert. Never seen again. You stare at the asphalt. You grip the plastic phone. You wait. You survived the highway. 6 months of dust. Now, you are 18. You are a Fletero. A transporter. You sit behind the wheel of a stolen 2018 Toyota Hilux. The suspension groans. Underneath the welded steel bed rests 300 pounds of tightly wrapped cargo. You drive. Route 15 north toward Sinaloa. The air tastes of hot dust and diesel. Your instructions are absolute. Do not stop. Do not speed. If the federal police pull you over, you hand them an envelope containing 10,000 pesos. If the military intercepts, you abandon the truck and run. The grip on the steering wheel turns your knuckles white. Your pulse pounds in your jaw. Every mile marker is a countdown. Every pair of headlights in the rearview mirror feels like an impending eclipse. You arrive at a rusted warehouse in Culiacan. A man in a tailored suit hands you a pristine envelope. 15,000 pesos. More money than your father saw in a year. But you notice the missing men. The drivers who took the wrong route. Nobody resigns. They are simply swallowed by the long shadows of the cartel. You take the envelope. You turn the ignition. You drove without incident for 3 years. You proved your silence. Now, you are 21. You are a Cobrador. The collector. You no longer hide in the dust. You walk directly into the brightly lit pharmacies of Zapopan. You collect the derecho de piso. The tax. The rules are absolute. 5,000 pesos from the corner mechanic. 20,000 from the nightclub owner. Most hand over the envelopes with trembling fingers. One evening, a restaurant owner refuses. He claims the tourists are gone. You do not argue. You simply nod. You return at midnight with 2 others. You do not use words. You drag the heavy shadows of the syndicate directly into his kitchen. You leave his livelihood fractured beyond repair. The psychological message is permanently delivered. The next month, he pays double. You make 40,000 pesos a month. You wear a heavy gold chain. Your mother stops asking where the money comes from. But the paranoia mutates. You are now a visible operative. The local police record your face. Rival syndicates memorize your license plate. You are no longer just an employee. You are a walking target. You survived the streets. Now, you manage them. You are 25. You are an Estaca. A tactical cell leader. You command 4 men. You operate from a fortified safehouse in Monterrey, leased through a phantom corporation. The organization supplies you with encrypted radios and armored SUVs. Your sole objective is territorial integrity. When a rival syndicate encroaches on the northern plaza, you do not negotiate. You orchestrate the blackout. You order the shadows to permanently swallow their operatives. The sudden silence makes the evening news. You pocket 100,000 pesos a month. You buy a high-walled compound. But you are managing pure chaos. Your recruits are young. They lack discipline. Their reckless behavior draws the intense gaze of the National Guard. You must enforce internal perfection. A single mistake from your crew does not just cost the cartel money. It costs your existence. The regional boss demands absolute control. If your cell fractures, your name is quietly erased from the ledger. You sleep in 4-hour shifts. You keep your boots on. The hunted has become the manager of hunters. You are 32. You are a Comandante, the regional commander. You no longer hold a weapon. You hold the entire Nuevo Laredo Plaza. 300 operatives wait on your encrypted satellite phone. Your daily logistics require corporate precision. You funnel $3 million a month through legitimate agricultural fronts. You purchase the silence of local mayors. You finance the shadows. When a rival organization attempts to breach Highway 85, you do not send a warning. You orchestrate a permanent eclipse. You erase their presence from the map without ever leaving your reinforced compound. You command an armored fleet, yet you have never felt more confined. The pressure is crushing. The DEA taps your associates. The federal government builds a dossier on your phantom identity. The men sitting at your mahogany table smile, but ambition is a quiet poison. Every lieutenant under your command calculates the exact moment your grip slips. Trust is a liability you can no longer afford. You isolate yourself from your family. You communicate through heavily vetted intermediaries. You manage an empire of ghosts, knowing you are always one mistake away from joining them. You are 40. You are the Jefe de Sicarios, the apex architect of the syndicate's militant wing. You answer only to the Capo. You command an underground army of 2,000 operatives across 6 states. Your monthly budget for tactical logistics is $10 million. You no longer manage city blocks, you manage full-scale asymmetric logistics. When the military deploys a new mechanized battalion to Michoacán, you do not retreat. You purchase their exact patrol coordinates from a compromised general. You orchestrate a synchronized, statewide blackout. The psychological dominion is absolute. Yet, the isolation is suffocating. You live deep within the Sierra Madre Mountains. Your compound is surrounded by encrypted radar and 3 rings of security. You sleep in a subterranean bunker. You have not felt open sunlight in 3 years. The governments of 2 nations have placed a $5 million bounty on your phantom profile. Every faint hum in the night sky forces you awake. Every plate of food must be cleared by a subordinate first. You have reached the absolute pinnacle of underground authority. You are completely trapped. You are 45. You are El Capo, the undisputed architect of the syndicate. The previous leader vanished into the permanent shadows. You took his chair. Your organization controls a $2 billion global supply chain. You own local governors across 5 states. You broker logistics with South American suppliers and European syndicates. Yet, the golden cage shrinks rapidly. The DEA places a $15 million bounty on your head. You undergo extensive facial reconstruction surgery in a clandestine basement clinic. Your own reflection becomes a stranger. You move between fortified mountain bunkers every 48 hours. You communicate exclusively through handwritten notes on flash paper. Read once. Burned instantly. The psychological weight is absolute. You order the shadows to consume anyone who hesitates. Your oldest lieutenant questions a territorial dispute. You nod to a subordinate. Your friend is quietly erased by nightfall. Paranoia is your only loyal companion. You hold the absolute power of a ghost. You command an empire built on silence. Yet, you are the most hunted man on earth. The ghost is caught. It happens at 3 a.m. in a Sinaloa safe house. You hear the deafening roar of Black Hawk helicopters. It is not a rival syndicate. It is the Mexican Marines. A rusted lock breaks. The raid blinds you. Your $15 million bounty is collected by an anonymous lieutenant. The Empire collapses in exactly 12 minutes. Extradition is swift. You are shackled to the floor of a DEA transport plane. You land in Colorado. You are escorted into ADX Florence. The Supermax. You are now prisoner number 89432-058. Your cell is 7 by 12 feet of poured concrete. A solid steel door blocks the world. You are permitted 1 hour of solitary recreation in a metal cage. There are no guards to bribe. There is no syndicate to orchestrate an escape. You have $2 billion sitting in encrypted accounts, but you cannot buy a window. The silence is absolute. It presses against your skull. You commanded an army of thousands. Now, you sit on a steel slab. The shadows have permanently swallowed you. You will die in this room. But the syndicate does not die. 3 months into your isolation, a court-appointed lawyer sits behind reinforced glass. He speaks in coded whispers. The encrypted ledger was passed. Your 26-year-old nephew claimed the Culiacan Plaza. The global supply lines never paused. The agricultural fronts still funnel $3 million a week. The machine simply replaced a broken gear. You were the absolute architect of a $2 billion empire. Now, you are merely a ghost story. A cautionary tale whispered to new recruits on Highway 15D. They learn how supreme ambition buys a concrete tomb. You stare at the lawyer. The ultimate psychological burden crushes you. The paranoia. The subterranean bunkers. The operatives you commanded the shadows to consume. It was all meaningless. You built an apex predator designed to outlive you. You are permanently erased from the world. Yet, the brutal cycle continues. Somewhere in Jalisco, under a blistering sun, another 15-year-old boy grips a prepaid burner phone. He stares at the empty asphalt. He waits for the green trucks. The machine demands new ghosts. 10 years evaporate. You are 55. The poured concrete walls of ADX Florence are your entire universe. You receive 0 letters. You receive 0 visitors. Your encrypted $2 billion empire is an obsolete memory. The federal government auctioned the Zapopan mansions. The legitimate agricultural fronts were dismantled. Your name is no longer spoken on Highway 15D. The new generation of operatives does not know your face. You are permanently erased. The solitary confinement meticulously hollows out your mind. You pace the 7-by-12-foot cell. 23 hours a day. The silence rings in your ears like a physical frequency. You close your eyes. You see the faces of the men you ordered the shadows to consume. They sit in the dark corners of your cell. You cannot escape them. The psychological debt is finally collected. You once controlled a subterranean army. You dictated life and death across 6 Mexican states. Now, you dictate nothing but the exact placement of your footsteps. You will take millions of these steps. You will age. You will break. The syndicate promised absolute power. It delivered absolute oblivion.